Good day. This is Donna Lea P. Buendia, and our topic for today is about legal issues in the workplace. As psychology major students and future human resource staff, it is best for you to have a knowledge about legal issues in the workplace, especially in Philippine setting. So for today, we have our guest speaker, Mr. Wilson Buendia. He is a senior labor inspector of Department of Labor and Employment of the Philippines.
Okay, good day everyone. This is Wilson Buendia, Department of Labor. So, di-discuss ko po regarding salient features ng statutory monetary benefits. So, parte siya ng Labor Code of the Philippines. So, ano ba yung labor standards? Labor standards is a set of minimum terms, condition, and benefits of employment that employers must comply with. Minimum requirements by the law and regulation relating to wages, hours of work, and other monetary welfare benefits, including occupational safety and health standards. So, basically, we are talking about the uh, minimum benefits of the workers. So, what is minimum wage? Republic Act number 6727, also known as the Rationalization Act, mandates the fixing of minimum wage applicable to different industrial sectors, namely non-agriculture, agriculture plantation, non-plantation, cottage, handicrafts, retail services, depending on the numbers of workers or capitalization, or annual gross sales in some sectors. Minimum wage. So, we are talking about the minimum wage earned by workers. So the basis of the minimum wage relates to prescribed by law shall be normal working hours of 8 hours a day. There are different types of minimum wage or how you earn monetary from your employers or how you pay the employee. So, meron tayong several types of how to pay the employee. So, sample niyan, itong monthly paid employees and daily paid employees. So, anong ibig sabihin ng monthly paid? So, monthly paid employees are those who are paid every day of the month, including ang work rest day, special days, regular holidays. So, factor nito is 365 in a year issued to determine the equivalent monthly salary of monthly paid employees. So, pag sinabi natin monthly paid employees, so binabayaran na tayo or binabayaran po natin ang ating mga workers ng 365 days. Ibig sabihin niyan, bayad pati lahat ng rest day ng isang worker, included na rin yung mga holidays and special holidays. So, bayad yon in total, regardless kung ilang days per month ang nasa isang buwan. So, for example, meron tayong January which is 31 days and then the February is 28 or 29 days. So, basically, kung 20,000 pesos ang salary ng isang empleyado, so makukuha niya yan every month is 20,000. So, in total of that, binayaran na siya ng 365 days in a whole year. So, yun ang sample. Pangalawa, na klase ng pagbabayad sa mga empleyado, ang daily paid employees. Daily paid employees are those who are paid on the days they are actually work or unwork regular holidays. Ang pinakamadaling sabi, ang daily paid employees, ito yung day to day, ang sinasabi rin is no work, no pay na mga empleyado. So, meron pa naman tayong iba, except nitong dalawa, meron pa tayong ibang paano binabayaran ng mga empleyado. Tulad ng Pacquiao system. Pacquiao system is pwede naman siyang gamitin ng ating mga employer or employee kung paano siya binabayaran. Ng Pacquiao system, ito yung babayaran siya ng buo. So, in condition na ilang days niya tatrabahuin yung isang trabaho or task, computed as dapat hindi siya bababa ng minimum wage kung saan man region siya nagtatrabaho. For example, NCR, meron tayong minimum wage which is 537 pesos per day, and then magkakaiba yan per region, and then magkakaiba rin minsan per location or per municipality or cities sa ibang region. Pero sa NCR, is standard po siya na 537 pesos. And another thing is meron din tayong tinatawag na piece rate. Ang piece rate naman, binabayaran po ang isang manggagawa per peraso. So, per peraso siya, for example, pinagawa mo siya ng isang bagay. For example, is paso or pot. Pinagawa mo siya for the whole 8 hours. Babayaran mo siya accordingly per piece, pero in a regular manner, kung paano siya gumalaw, dapat aabot siya ng 537 pesos in an 8 hours work. Pero hindi lang po dyan na paano ma-determine kung tama ba o hindi ang isang piece rate, rates or bayad sa isang ginawa niya. So, meron tayong National Wages and Productivity Commission. So, ang isang employer magpapasa po doon ng kanilang na meron silang piece rate, and then ito naman po si Department of Labor or si National Wages and Productivity Commission. So, pupuntahan niya yung pagawaan at magkakaroon ng time and motion study. Ano yung time and motion study? Ito yung oorasan kung ilang minuto or oras niya ginawa ang isang piraso para ma-determine ng Department of Labor na ang binibigay or ang binabayad na piece rate is sa 8 hours na trabaho ay hindi siya bababa dapat sa 537 pesos. So, sample ko lang is 537 sa NCR lang po yan. So, in other region, syempre magkakaiba po yung rates ng ating mga manggagawa. So, next is the holiday pay. So, holiday pay refers to the payment of regular daily wage of any unworked regular holidays. So, every employee covered by the holiday pay rule is entitled to the minimum wage rate. Employee is entitled at least 100% of his or her minimum wage rate, even he did not report for work, provided that she is present or leave of absent on the work day immediately preceding the holiday. So, ano ibig sabihin po nitong holiday pay. So, the holiday ay natapat sa Wednesday. Kailangan ang isang empleyado dapat present siya on Tuesday para bayaran ang kanyang unwork holiday on Wednesday. Pero, for example naman, paano kung naka-leave siya ng Tuesday? So, kung naka-leave siya ng Tuesday, dapat meron siyang leave credits na magagamit on Tuesday. Para equivalent po yung Tuesday na magkakaroon ng as present siya by Tuesday kasi meron siyang ang leave credits na pwedeng gamitin. So, dito sa holiday pay, so hindi naman po lahat is entitled for holiday pay kasi meron po tayong mga exception. So, wala dito sa slide but babanggitin ko na lang din. So, isa sa mga exempted employees or may exemption sa holiday pay tulad ng retail and services, regularly employing less than 10 employees. And then ang mga managerial employees. And then the field workers personnel. So, ang managerial, hindi naman lahat tinatawag na manager ay talagang manager. Meron po kasing mga power na kailangan or para ma-determine na talaga siya ay manager. So, isang power na kailangan ng masabi natin na manager ay meron siyang sa company, meron siyang suggestion and recommendation as to hiring or firing and promotion. So, kung isang manager ay tinatawag na manager as dapat meron siyang ganun na power. Kung wala siyang power na nabanggit ko, ay masasabi natin sa position lang niya is manager siya but the power kung wala yon, so hindi dapat siya covered ng exemption. So, ibig sabihin, regularly employee pa rin siya. So, sa field workers naman po natin, so kaya po hindi po siya kasama sa holiday pay. So, ito kasi yung mga employees whose time and performance is unsupervised by the employer. So, ibig sabihin dito, by results lang po kasi sila binabayaran. So, hindi sila monitor, hindi sila sinasabihan itong oras ng pasok mo, ito ang out mo. As long as nagawa nila yung trabaho nila at naibigay nila yung results, possible na sila ay field workers. So, pero dapat very clear sa kanila ng employer and the employee during the engagement of employment. So, para hindi po siya nakakahilo during the time of payment. So, next, the premium pay. Premium pay refers to the additional compensation for work performed within 8 hours on non-work days such as rest days and special days. So, premium pays, ito po yung pinabayad po sa atin tulad ng mga special days. So, tinatawag siya as premiums or pumasok ka as rest days. So, premium po yan. So, sample ng special days, ito yung Ninoy Aquino Day, All Saints Day, Feast of the Immaculate Conception, ang last day of the year. So, yan po ang sample. But, Ang lagi natin aabangan, meron pong pinapalabas lagi before for the following year, may pinapalabas ang Malacanang or the Palace ng mga advisory. So, including the Department of Labor, ay inaabangan natin yon kung ano ang declaration ng mga holidays, special or regular holidays, and some work holidays. So, ang ito po yung no work, no pay principle applies during special holidays such as special holidays may be proclaimed by the President or by the Congress. So, yun ang nabanggit ko kanina na pag special holiday, um, may choice o may karapatan si employer kung sino lang ang pwede niyang papasukin or sino ang hindi. Or totally na hindi siya operate during special holidays. So, ginagawa po yan ng ating mga employer. Some is cost cutting. So, hindi siya magbayad ng premiums. So, makikita po natin, work perform on special days merits additional compensation of at least 30% of the basic wage or a total of 130%. If the employee works on a special day falling on the rest day, he shall be entitled to compensation for at least 50% of her basic wage in total of 150%. So that's why ang mga employer po natin pinipili lang talaga kung kailan or kung sino ang papasok during special holiday. Next is overtime pay. Overtime pay refers to additional compensation for work performed beyond 8 hours a day. So, beyond. So, yan ang tatandaan po natin, beyond. Kailangan muna makakomplete po tayo ng 8 hours before masabi natin na meron tayong overtime. So, dalawang klase ang for example nito, halimbawa, pumasok siya kung half day lang, halimbawa, pumasok siya ng 12 noon. And then, kung ang uwian is 4 o'clock, so ang tanong dyan is, beyond 4 o'clock is matatawag na natin is overtime. Ang sagot po yan is no. Kasi kailangan po niya makaabuo muna ng 8 hours na trabaho. So, dalawang klase ang overtime. So, bago tayo magpa-overtime or bago tayo mag-overtime, ito ang tatandaan natin. So, ang overtime, kapag kung empleyado po tayo, mag-overtime tayo, make sure kung kailan po matatapos ang 8 hours natin. Halimbawa, 7 o'clock and then 7 o'clock ang pasok and then 4 o'clock ang tapos. Before ka mag-decide ng mag-overtime, una, magpaalam ka muna sa superior mo na ikaw ay mag-overtime. So, kailangan documented po yan na ikaw ay nagpapaalam na mag-overtime ako after nitong 8 hours kong trabaho para ikaw ay mabayaran. So, hindi po ibig sabihin porket lumampas ka ng 8 hours na trabaho ay automatically nababayaran. Make sure na meron kang hiningi na authorization to render overtime. Yan ang isang dapat ginagawa ng empleyado para mag-overtime kung ang desisyon niya sa kanya ay siya ang mag-overtime. The other way naman is kung ang isang empleyado inutusan ng kanyang superior ay mag-overtime, yun ay hindi na kailangan ng authorization to render overtime kasi superior na mismo ang nagsabi na mag-overtime ka, tapusin mo yan ng trabaho na yan, mag-overtime ka. So, formality na lang ang pagdodokumento na magpapirma ka ng authorized to render overtime. So, para meron kang pinanghahawakan na ikaw ay pina-overtime, make sure ang superior mo ay pinapirma mo or pinadokumento mo na inutusan ka na mag-render ng overtime. So, usually yan po kasi ang minsan nagkakaroon ng problema ang employee sa mga overtime kasi at the end of the day, pag bayaran na, ibig sabihin or may sahod na, minsan nawawala yung tinrabaho ng overtime, hindi na isali sa bayad. So, kung pinapirma po natin ang superior natin to document your overtime hours, so meron tayong basis para singilin ang ating employer in regards with overtime pay. So, ito nga, paano siya binabayaran? For work in excess of 8 hours performed in ordinary workdays. So, meron siyang additional na 25% of the hourly rate. So, yun, 25%. Paano natin makuha yung 25%? For example, 537 nga po yung per day po natin sa NCR. 537 divided by 8. So, magkakaroon ka ng figure doon. That is your hourly rate. Then, yung per hour natin, dagdagan po natin ng 25%. Yan po ang magiging rate mo per hour during overtime hours. Number 2, for the works excess in 8 hours performed in scheduled rest day and special days. So, may additional po ng 30% of hourly rate on the said days. So, same kung paano kunin yung per hour. So, dadagdag lang yung percentage po natin na ma-earn during overtime pay. Okay, for work in excess of 8 hours performed on a special day which fall on a scheduled rest day plus 30% of hourly rate on said days. Number 4, for work in excess of 8 hours performed on a regular holiday, 30% again for per hour. And then the fifth one is for work in excess of 8 hours performed on regular holiday which fall on scheduled rest day. So another 30% of hourly rate days. So meron pa nito, just in case naman magkapatong-patong to, na rest day na, special holiday pa, and then pinapasok. So, nagiging additional from time to time is nagiging 60% ang additional. But, seldom to na nangyayari sa ating mga employer unless otherwise, kailangan talaga nila na magpapasok. And then, willing sila magbayad ng 60% in total.